Today, we're going to do a little dive into the past to have a look through my old middle school art. Before we get started, I want to throw out a little bit of a disclaimer. At this stage, I was doing what most kids do when it comes to learning how to draw. I wasn't tracing, but I was copying or redrawing from other sources. For the most part, the characters that you're going to see are not mine, unless I state otherwise. As a kid, I really enjoyed copying or redrawing from comic books, comic cards, coloring books, sticker books, paused movies, DVD covers, magazines, you name it. If something about that image or character stood out, I had to redraw it. I'm going to do my absolute best to credit all the original artists, companies, or sources that I pulled these images from. However, it has been so long, so long since I've done these, and we're not even going to get into how long it's been. For that reason, I might not remember where I got all of the images from. For the ones I don't know, if you happen to recognize them and you know where they're from, please let me know in the comments. With your help, I would love to be able to update the list of sources in the description box.
Now, I know I said sketchbook tour, but in middle school, I actually kept my art in a folder, not a sketchbook. On the bottom left corner, you can just barely see my name. All four corners are torn. The elastic cord is, well, no longer elastic. This thing is in some rough shape. I'm just hoping that the art inside has survived. All right, let's have a look inside. The first one up is a drawing of Abu from Aladdin. If you've seen the movie, I think it's pretty obvious who I'm trying to draw. There's no date on him, which is kind of weird because I was notorious for signing and dating just about everything. I think the only negative thing I would say is that his eye on the left is a little wonky. I also wonder why I didn't draw his hands or his front paws. Maybe they were cut out of the image I was drawing from? I don't know. Overall, though, this isn't a bad start. I like this little guy. More Disney. Shocker. I can remember drawing this one and being so proud of it. It says March 10th, 1993, age 12, Beauty and the Beast. I love the Beast's face. I'm pretty happy with Belle's too. Her chest and waist area is a little wonky. So is the Beast's hand. Otherwise, I really can't knock this one. Okay, this one is just a hot mess. It looks like I used crayon, which is weird. Usually I didn't use crayon outside of coloring books. I highly doubt I was working from another image for this one. It's just way too chaotic. We have Scrooge sitting in the center counting his stacks of coin. We have Bob working away at his desk. There's even a rat under Scrooge's desk. On the back there's a date, December 12th, 1993, grade 7, age 12. A+, awesome. I don't know, I'm not in love with it. It is a sloppy mess. This one, I'm fairly certain I was working from a comic book cover. Age 12, 1993. Looks like I just used pencil. Definitely unfinished. Not great, not horrible. It's alright. This is probably an early one too. It's not dated, but if I had to guess, I would say I was probably around the age of 12. My brother had started collecting comic books and comic cards, so I started stealing them to copy from. Then I started buying my own. I never read them though or got into the storylines. I just love the pictures and the challenge of redrawing them. So please do not ask me the backstory of any of these characters because I honestly have no clue. I know guys, I suck. This is an old one. Oh my gosh. I remember drawing this too, and I had drawn him along with Captain America. I wonder if he's in here too. Age 11, February 15th, 1993, so I was almost 12. It looks like I used pencil, an ink pen, and colored pencil. His proportions aren't too bad, but the perspective on his legs are a little wonky. It's alright. Okay, next we've got Bambi. It looks like I drew him first in pencil and then went over him in pen. Then I started a butterfly, but I didn't finish it. Obviously, it's another Disney. I can't say that I was ever a diehard Disney fan, but I always enjoyed copying or redrawing the characters. Jasmine's face is a little weird. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Oh my gosh, another Aladdin. This one's saying 1993, age 12. Maybe the movie just came out and that's the obsession? Let me look. Okay, it came out in 1992, that's gotta be why. The genie looks awesome, and I can remember being so proud of him when I had drawn this. Jasmine and Aladdin, they're all right, but it's funny because if you look at Abu, you can tell by the time I got to him, I had just given up. Oh, I hate this one so much. I don't even know why I kept this. Let me just say, I was obsessed with Michael Jordan. At this time, I played basketball on a rec team, and I shared a room with my little sister, and I had 3 walls plastered with Michael Jordan posters, newspaper articles, stickers, jerseys, you name it. I even had a life-size cardboard cutout of the man standing in one of the corners of my room. And don't even get me started on clothing. It was complete and utter madness. As to the drawing, I mean, good lord, I don't mind the shading and the shirt and the shorts and stuff, but I mean, beyond that, this is just a hot mess. It is so bad. I did not do this man justice at all. Next up, we've got Mickey Mouse. He's actually a lot harder to draw than you might think. I remember doing this with bottled inks and a paintbrush. And if you look close, you can even see where I wrote in with pencil what colors go where. All right, Cinderella. I don't mind this one. The torso up feels a little too big for the hips down. It's almost like the legs aren't long enough. The face is also a little weird, and the hands are a bit of a bit of a struggle town. But let's be honest, hands are hard to draw. I can't be too mean to my 12-year-old self. I was still young, I was still learning, and really, this isn't horrible. Captain America! Oh, I do have it! Man, and he's he's such a mess! Holy hell! The perspective is definitely off. But I remember doing this one like it was yesterday. I used bottled inks, a fountain pen, and paintbrushes. Looks like I missed a stripe in the flag. I don't know how I missed that unless I ran out of red ink. I'm not sure if I gave up on the eagle or if I just decided it was best to not outline it. I have no idea. So these are a whole series of drawings that I did for a 6th grade assignment. I was reading Alice in Wonderland, and I think I had to do like a book report or a presentation or something. I would have copied these images directly from the book to go along with my assignment. We've got the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter. We've got Alice following the White Rabbit. We've got some frog guys with a letter. We've got the rabbit solo. We've got some playing cards painting the roses. And we have the Queen of Hearts with the king, and all I can hear her screaming is,
"Off with their head!"
This is a hell of a lot better than the Scrooge one, and this was from a grade earlier. I would have had a reference for these though, so I mean that really can make all the difference. Next up, we have a happy little hippo, and I have no idea where the hell I was going with this. There's barely anything to it. I have no idea where I pulled it from, but to me it screams Disney. It's cute though. I don't know if cute was enough to keep it. I mean, there's it's definitely unfinished. I don't know. Next. Okay, Phoenix. I believe I was copying this from a comic card. It says age 13, 1994. I remember liking the drawing, but once I started adding color, I hated it and I just stopped. I think it was the art supplies that I was using that I wasn't crazy about. I like how it's clearly on the back of someone's homework. This was pretty normal in our house. Any spare piece of paper with a blank side was fair game. Mr. Monster. Oh my goodness, I remember this one. This was from the cover of a comic book. I remember loving his costume so much I had to draw him. It looks like I used pencil and colored pencil. It was done in March of 93, so I was 12. I like the proportions. The perspective's a little weird on his hands and guns. Not too bad. Oh no, not these two. Okay, so these kind of go together. Back in the day, when we were collecting comic books and comic book cards, we would buy Wizard magazines. If you don't know what a Wizard magazine is, people would buy them to find out the value of their comic book cards and their comic books. And they'd also have little articles in there. One of the things that they featured were artists who sent in their own mock-up drawings of a Wizard magazine cover. And I wanted to do one and have it featured so bad. I made two, but I never sent them in. And looking at them now, I kind of understand why I did not. One was better than the other, but still. I love the Spider-Man one. I liked that I combined two Spider-Man costume styles. As far as the Spider-Man pose, I'm fairly certain I was looking at an image from a comic book. The other one, I hated it when I did it. And oh my gosh, I still hate it. I hate it so much. I remember I wanted it to look like someone was cutting their way through the cover and climbing out. The body's not horrible, but it's not great either. But that face, man, that's a face only a mother could love. It's so ugly. I'm pretty sure this was an attempt at doing something original. And we're back to Aladdin and Jasmine, who oh God, they're all over the place. Look at Aladdin just singing his ass off for Jasmine, and she looks like she's in some sort of zombie trance. What is up with her eyes? I don't know what the hell is going on here, but that is what nightmares are made of. As for the rest of it, nice job, 12-year-old Chris. Back to Phoenix, okay. It looks like I tried again with the same image, and again I gave up. They look fairly similar. This one clearly has more color, and it feels like I was using pastel pencils. I have no idea why the hell I did that. I never liked the ones I had. They were too chalky, and it was just, made my skin crawl. It felt like nails on a chalkboard. These two I did a year apart. One I pulled from a comic card, and the other one might have been a comic card too. I'm not quite sure. The colored one I did in 1993. I was 12. And the pencil one I did in 94 at age 13. Although I didn't get too far with the pencil one, you can already see I was making improvements in my drawing. The skull looks so much better in this one. Even the details in the jacket look better. I wish I had finished this drawing so I would have had more to compare. I think that's why I was so obsessive about dating everything when I was a kid. I really enjoyed seeing how my drawing was improving year by year.
This was from another school project. We had to do a how-to lecture in my English class. We basically had to teach our class how to do something. So I did one on how to draw and decided to teach my classmates how to draw Spider-Man. These are some of the visual step-by-step drawings I created to help walk the class through drawing him. I definitely don't have all the drawings still, but you get the idea. I loved this assignment so much. It was so much fun seeing people who thought they couldn't draw end up with a decent-looking Spider-Man. Oh, I remember this one. This one is cool because it shows you how quickly you can improve with minor tips. This one I had drawn from a Wizard magazine, and with the help of a good friend, Mike Stevens, who is also an artist, I'll link his info below, I was able to learn who this character was. While I was in the middle of drawing it, some family friends named Dave and Becky dropped by. Becky told me how she used to be really good at drawing portraits when she was younger, and then she started giving me tips on how to make the face in my drawing better. She told me I needed to break down the face into smaller shapes, like the Spider-Man lecture I just showed you. I had always done that on the body, but I never really thought about breaking the face down into shapes too. So I stopped the drawing immediately and I started a new one. And holy hell, talk about a massive difference. I remember being blown away by how much I improved drawing the same face within days. Even now I'm surprised by it. It almost looks like I could have done these two a year or two apart. So much better. The hair is a hot mess, but we'll ignore that for now. Honestly, I probably should have broken that down into shapes too. Here we have the start of Lady and the Tramp. I remember being really happy with how Lady turned out. I'm not really sure why I didn't finish it. I think I just lost interest. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on here. I remember drawing this character, but I have no idea why he appealed to me. Maybe the eyeball won me over? I don't know. I definitely gave up on him along the way. There's the start of some little creature on his knee. I have no idea what the pokeball in the corner is all about. He could do with more of a forehead. I mean, I suppose I could let him borrow some of mine.
And he looks like he's floating on some weird little patch of ground. Thanks to my good friend Mike and his network of comic book lovers, we were able to figure out who this guy was too. Oh, I remember being so proud of these ones. I definitely copied all 3 of these from Comic Cards. Only one of them is dated, January 7th, 1994, so I was 12 going on 13. And I know I did one right after the other. We have Cyclops. His head actually looks a little large for his shoulders, but I remember struggling with that. It might just be a perspective issue. I'm not sure though, I'd have to see the card again. Then there is the Man of Steel. I remember wanting to draw him because of all the reflections in his suit. Plus, he just looked like a badass. I love the jump from the soft flowy cape lines to the hard metal lines. I clearly didn't finish him, but I love this and I remember being pretty damn proud of it. Then there is the last son of Krypton. This Superman version is just weird. For whatever reason, he appealed to me, so I tackled him. The glasses confuse me. I have no idea what the deal is there. Again, I don't know backstory. Overall, I feel like I did okay with this one. Last but not least, the envelope puzzle? I don't really know what else to call it. Okay, so there were smaller sets within a set of comic cards. If you put that smaller set together, they'd make a larger image. I decided to copy these 9 cards onto envelopes. Once they were all redrawn and colored, I planned to start mailing letters using the envelopes to my Uncle Joe, who had moved to Arizona. As you can see, I never finished it.
And that is all I have for today. I do have 1 or 2 folders from high school that have original artwork in them. If you'd like to have a look through those with me, let me know in the comments.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you again here very soon.